If you've ever dreamed of crossing the mighty Simpson Desert, then this video's for you.
And we survived the night as well. The weird things all happening in the desert.
We're going to show you the French line crossing from start to finish, showing you the points of interest along the way, how to tackle over 1,100 dunes including Big Red, and tips and tricks to give you the confidence to cross the Simpson in a group or solo. Strap in for this epic adventure.
Well, here we are at Mount Dare. We're just about to start the French line. We're going to be doing it from west to east this time. And do we need a parks pass? Yes.
Yes, so you need a Desert Parks Pass to do the French line because it is in South Australia. It's $204 at the moment. You can either get it online or you can get it from places like Mount Dare or Unadilla.
And tonight, look, it's a really good place to stay here. Obviously, you got beers, meals, good camping, showers and all that kind of thing. We're not going to stay here tonight, but we're going to go to one of our favourite spots in Australia and we're going to camp at Dalhousie Springs.
It's only 65 k's from here and it's well worth it.
And we'll show you why when we get there.
Mount Dare is your last chance to get fuel before heading into the Simpson Desert if you're doing a west to east crossing.
Always with the flies though, let's try again. Alrighty, let's go.
The French line is between 530 to 610 kilometres long depending on which route you take and if there are any detours in place like the Air Creek bypass. So double check the Ks you'll do, and we would recommend at least an extra 40 litres of surplus fuel, but this could vary depending on your vehicle and fuel usage. We have driven this section of track between Mount Dare and Dalhousie Springs a few times now, and the conditions are always changing. Being later in the season, it was in a pretty bad way with a lot of corrugations and large rocks, so take it easy.
You can see this big puddle behind me. So it rained like a couple of weeks ago and there's still quite big bodies of water out amongst the track here. There's always like a chicken track around, or generally there is. So if you can, go around them because, you know, it just absolutely chops in pieces for when they dry up and for the locals and they need to drive through and everything. So but yeah, it's amazing to see how much water is still around after all this time.
And just like that, camp is set up. We have pulled out Starlink quickly just to respond to a few important emails and phone calls. And then we will show you why we come here and why this place is so special. So we've been very lucky this trip because it's been so cold that we actually haven't dealt with many mosquitoes. So we haven't had to pull this out yet. But this is our little thermocell unit. Cool thing about this one is we used to have a unit that you would have to put the butane into and you would like click it on. This unit goes straight on one of these little gas bottles and we carry these for our jet boil. So I'm going to get it firing because the flies are friendly. There's already mozzies out and they're quite nasty. They're tiny, they hurt when they bite, and yeah, I don't do well when I get bit. So get this going now and hopefully yeah, we'll be bug free. Watch this space.
So the best thing about Dalhousie Springs is the fact that they are hot springs. And it's like a dam-sized bath. And when I mean it's like hot, it's like 40 degrees. It's like a proper bath. It's so good. And when you've been out traveling for a couple of days and you haven't like had a really good shower or haven't had a shower at all.
Or you pass through the desert.
Or pass through the desert or whatever. This is amazing. It's one of our favourite spots in Australia. It's just so random. And it's just amazing that it's even here. There's a couple of species of fish and frog that are just endemic to just this spring, which is amazing. Anyway, bring your beer down. They usually have like noodles and that and easy access in, and it is a bloody good swim. So we'll go show you.
So, springs, beautiful. Mozzies after the fact, horrible.
Insane. Some of the worst mozzies I've ever experienced in my life. Here's one.
They're so tiny.
We have our defences up.
Yeah, so we've got the thermosol going. I've got the red out. I'm literally just spraying it if I see them.
Sandalwood sticks.
Sandalwood,
We've just got like everything going.
It's funny, Matt came out of the troopy and I had this blowtorch lighting these sandalwood sticks and it was just like...
Show you what Holly is. I come out of the troopy, come around the corner, Holly's just like, die, Mozzie! She's just like...
So yeah, just like note to self, we're in our Mozzie attire now, so literally like they were trying to guide us through our clothes.
Yep, so just keep it in mind if you're coming here, mozzies, and flies as well, but just mozzies.
Yeah. Well, we're just going to cook up some dinner, so we will see you guys in the morning.
See you soon. Hey everyone, I just wanted to jump in here quickly and mention that our fridge organiser and storage cube are now in the country and available to purchase. So if you love this video and you want to ensure that we can keep doing it in the future, please consider supporting us. Get one of these products, they're really, really good. This is our fridge organiser. These 4 clips, if you haven't seen it yet, removes like that, insulation stays on the fridge. Velcro handle that you can hang it on anything, hang it at the side of the car, wherever you're cooking. And then you've got our storage cube here. Opens like that, and you've got a carry handle in the middle. We've got bottles of wine, top and tail, but you can put anything in it, tools, whatever you want. So as I said, they're available now, so jump on it. The link will be in the description below. Anyway, back to the video.
There is a real sense of anticipation today as we get ready for our first solo crossing of the Simpson Desert and our 4th crossing overall. It's one of our favourite off-road experiences in Australia.
Well, I've just got that on film. Spilt my coffee.
For the Simpson, you need a sand flag by law that needs to be at least 2 meters above the roof of the vehicle. Also, make sure it's a decent quality flag as the cheaper ones will snap easily. Ours is from Bush Ranger and has done many years of desert trips. With the sand flag on, hubs locked, tyres aired down and everything packed up, it was time to hit the French line.
Into the Simpson Desert we go. I absolutely love a Simpson crossing. It's one of my favourite tracks to do in Australia, or favourite places in Australia, so very excited.
It's also really important to have a UHF in the Simpson for dune crests and call points. The official channel is Channel 10. Track conditions in the desert change every season. The Simpson had been closed a few weeks before filming this video due to rain. There was evidence this part of the track was pretty chopped up, but Parks had responded quickly and were already grading this section. There were huge sections of tracks that were still underwater, with some parts going on for kilometres.
this would be the 4th time that Matt and I have driven in the Simpson Desert. This is our first time solo, and this is our first time doing the French Line track. The French Line has a reputation for being the busiest track, but also apparently has the biggest dunes. So we're going to test that out. So keep watching to find out if either of those points are true.
One of the first points of interest along the track is Perrie Bore. The bore was drilled in 1963 by the French Petroleum Company to a depth of 1,880 metres. The bore taps into the Great Artesian Basin, providing a vital water source for the area, making it a haven for wildlife.
So wraps for lunch, nice and quick and easy. The track this morning has been pretty uneventful, very easy. The section between Dalhousie and I suppose the dunes or Perrie Bore was freshly graded, so yeah.
Not really into the dunes yet proper. Very small here, but they will get bigger.
We are almost at the French Line Rig Road turnoff, so we'll continue straight along the French Line.
It was great seeing such a large array of bird species here.
We just drove past the Parks car and said, "Oh, how's it down there? Little French Line." He said, "Oh, yeah, it's rough as guts." It was cool. All right, let's go.
This is definitely the worst the flies have ever been on the Simpson Forest. They're insane.
Decent.
We stopped only for a quick cuppa and got going again. As the dunes started to grow in size, we passed another junction road. This is where you turn off if you want to do the WAA line or the Coulson track.
Alrighty, so we pulled up to camp. Pretty good day's drive today. How many Ks did we do?
So we did 150 Ks over 5.5 hours. Average speed was 27 kilometers per hour, and our average fuel usage today was 16 litres per 100.
Well, there you go. Holly's, yeah, stays. So yeah, as you can see, flies are nice and friendly. We pulled over pretty early today. We just realised like we're almost sort of halfway, and we're like, oh well, no point rushing. We want to like definitely get a night camping at Air Creek and stuff like that. So yeah, we just pulled up early for the day. We'll just chill out for the afternoon, get a few things done, maybe have a shower, cook some dinner.
Yeah.
Ooh, review some of our wedding photos.
Oh
We
yeah.
just received them.
Yeah. So we'll get
check
Starlink
those out.
up for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, Starlink's great to travel with. If
It
you
is
have,
good.
And the Mini, we have that this time round. So good.
Really handy.
So much better.
Yeah, so we'll just set up and
Maybe sit inside the troopy.
relax. Sit inside the troopy out of the flies.
We spent the rest of the afternoon viewing the first night of our wedding photos, so didn't get much filming done. You can watch this reaction reel on our Instagram.
Okay, we're literally in the middle of the Simpson Desert. We've just got the first instalment of our wedding photos through from our 3-day event.
We woke up to a moody morning with thick cloud cover and very light rain.
Good morning, everyone. So we have woken up to a very cloudy morning this morning and a few spots of rain.
Bit dreary.
Yeah.
Couple little tiny spots of rain, but yeah.
There's nothing on the
right about.
forecast, so we don't think there's anything to worry about. The forecast says that it will be cloudy today and that it will break tomorrow and be nice and sunny tomorrow. So
Geez, who knows? We might do a 4-drive 247 replay driving through
let's hope not solo.
lakes of water solo. Yeah, that'd be a great video. Wow.
Yeah, it'd be very interesting. So yeah, we just made some coffee. We're gonna get packed up and get on the road.
The road, nice and early.
Yeah.
Sort of early. Well, not that early. It's 7:30.
Well, the sunrise is at 7 here.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll take you along for the day, see what we come across.
And we survived the night as well. The camel,
Oh,
the weird
yeah.
noises, the weird things all happening in the desert.
That was so bizarre.
All in quick succession. We had a super weird noise, which I'm pretty sure is just a bull camel just going at night. And then as I was looking for it, these like eyes are in the dunes, and that was just a cat. And what else happened? I think there was a car really late at night just cruising around.
really late, and it just stopped on the track
It was
really
funny.
close.
They stopped on the track, and I reckon they were like looking for a camp. They've probably been looking for ages, and they
Yeah.
couldn't find a place. And then they saw us, and they saw the road, and they're like, "Oh, should we go camp next door?" I was like, "Come on, we're in the Simpson Desert."
But just over that
And then
dune, yeah, just over that dune's the intersection for the other, like the Colson track. So there's so much
Yeah,
space.
I could
over
see
there.
them turn around. I could see their beam of lights like turn
Yeah.
in the air, and then they must have camped just over the dunes. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, what's your opinion on people camping right next to you in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere? Who's had that where they've camped somewhere and they're like the only person, and all of a sudden this car just rocks up and just camps right next to you, and they're like, "G'day." Anyway, they're usually like very nice, but sometimes you're like,
You're in the desert because you
Really?
kind of want to be by yourself and remote.
"Really, Eddie? you camp anywhere, but right next to me." Anyway, it's quite fun. It happens a bit.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll get packed up and get moving. So a bit of evidence of what we heard last night. Big camel prints. There's like two
They're
camels.
on the top of the tyres as
Yeah.
well. So.
There's 2 camel tracks. Maybe even 3. There's like 1 there, 2, 3. Very cool. Maybe we might see something today.
solo vehicle heading east on the French line.
It is super, super important to have a UHF on the Simpson, especially if you're travelling a track that goes east and west. Madigan line, you can only travel from the west across, but French line can go both ways. So this morning...
I'll just say, and even then on the Madigan line, just check your chatter, because there's still people that still go west on the Madigan, even though it's not supposed to. No, they still go like regardless of the rules, they still go the other way. So super important, especially also being a solo vehicle. You don't have chatter between obviously your convoy, so it's really important just to do call outs every now and again, especially if you pick up someone else's convoy. So we're currently traveling towards a 5 vehicle convoy. We're just staying in chats with them to see where they're at. We think our UHF has really good range, so we haven't seen them yet, but still don't see them. Kind of get them at the top of hills sometimes. Here they go.
Oh, there they go. We can see them.
5 vehicles heading west. I've got a visual on you.
Copy, mate.
Cool. So we're just pulling over to put lunch in the travel buddy. We've got some pies. Matt's just going to jig up a system so the door doesn't fly open and the pies are
Zip ties, your friend.
So if you watched one of our earlier episodes of this series, we were down in Victoria in the big desert and we put pies in the oven. It was a bit of a rough drive. I was holding the door for about an hour, so try to avoid that.
Shove them in. Yeah, that would have been pie eject. That would have been pure pies. It continued to rain lightly for the rest of the day. It was pretty incredible seeing the desert so lush with endless wildflowers. The French line crosses approximately 1,100 to 1,200 sand dunes in the Simpson Desert, which are crossed at a right angle to the track. The Simpson Desert contains the world's largest parallel sand dune desert, with dunes formed by wind erosion and deposition over thousands of years. So you can see behind me there's heaps of water in this lake here. We're just near Poepel Corner, we're just across from it, but we're going to have to take a bit of a detour just to go around. But yeah, it's pretty amazing just how much water is still out here from that big rain event months ago. Can't imagine the amount of water that was here just initially after the fall. It would have been crazy. Anyway, so we'll take the detour and we'll probably find camp pretty soon and we'll set up and get settled in for the night. The detour track was well marked and pretty bumpy in spots. We found a section that crossed the flat further down that had been well driven and crossed the salt flat here. Well, we've made it to one of the main milestones in the Simpson Desert, and that is Poepel Corner. So currently Holly's in the Northern Territory, I'm in Queensland.
And your arm is in South Australia.
Yeah, my arm's in South Australia. So yeah, it's a bit of a novelty being at the junction to 3 states.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, we've
Yeah.
done pretty well today.
Yeah, we've done over 120 Ks, 130 Ks.
Yeah. We'll give you
Yeah.
the stats later for
Yeah,
how speed
once-
and everything when we
Once
park
we
up.
find camp, which is the next mission.
Yeah, been a pretty sort of dreary, cloudy day, and just sort of like very, very light rain all day.
All day.
Yeah, but it's been nice.
Yeah.
The flowers, just amazing at the moment. Like it's actually like it's lush.
Yeah,
out
it's
here.
interesting
crazy.
to see the desert in a different light because we've never been here while it's rained. We have seen wildflowers, but not to the extent that we're seeing
No,
them.
not like this. Eh?
No.
All right, well let's go find camp.
Just pulled up to camp. This will be us for the night. My request was wildflowers, and we found wildflowers, and the lake's over there in the background. So, yeah, we'll set up. It's turned very cold today with the weather, so I think we'll get dinner happening. We're both pretty hungry. We had very early lunch, and then probably just chill out in the troopy.
Yeah, it's pretty chilly, so I'm gonna jump up and get warm, watch something.
Perfect. Let's get set up. So we could be in for a really cool sunset this afternoon. The clouds are meant to clear. It's meant to be a little bit clearer, I think, tomorrow. And then over in the west, it looks like they're already starting to break up. So fingers crossed, even though right above us is looking fairly dark with rain. But anyway, so let's talk stats. We were driving for a total of 8 hours today. Our average speed was 18 kilometers per hour, and we did 142 kilometers. So pretty slow going, but we made the distance we wanted to make, which was good. But yeah, just something to note, your average speed is quite slow. But yeah, so far the French line, well, we're actually off the French line now. We now will take this road, which meets the QAA, and that's the French line done. So in total, I really enjoyed the French line. I was saying to Matt, it's no worse than any other track. It, in some sections, was probably better than, say, the Madigan that we drove a few years ago. I think the French line has got such a reputation for being the busiest track in the Simpson that now people are avoiding it and doing some of the other tracks. So potentially making them a bit busier. Matt is getting dinner going for us, probably almost done, so we might go and eat and see what this sky does for sunset.
Well, it's mornings like this in the Simpson that remind you why you like coming out here in the first place. Sometimes the track, it might get a little repetitive or a bit bumpy and you're thinking, why do I enjoy this place again? And then you get camps like this, the wildflowers are out, birds, the sky's beautiful, colours, and yeah, it's pretty special. It's a cool place. So today I think we're just going to keep heading and we're going to go to the Air Creek bypass. We have to do that because Air Creek, the usual track on the QAA line, is totally flooded. So there is a bypass. I think it's about 700 mil of depth. So should be absolutely fine. And it's a pretty rocky base. We've done it before, but the camping around there is sensational. There are some billabongs in between the sand dunes. And I mean, talk about good camping. That is some of the coolest camping in Australia, if you get the water in between those billabongs. So yeah, we'll pack up, do the QAA, some really big dunes in the QAA, so it should be a bit of fun.
So this is where the original track goes. You can actually see the track on the other side. There was a track off to our left, which is obviously the one that people are now taking. So we will take that as well. But like, there is so much water here. And it looks like someone has driven through that. You can kind of see tire marks, but that would be boggy as hell. Not to mention salty. It's exceptional at reversing.
With the water comes the birds, and this is the first time on a Simpson crossing we had seen cockatiels. With the flooded salt pan behind us, we were now on the QAA line. The QAA line has the largest dunes in the desert. Some have multiple tracks like this one, and the cameras definitely don't do it justice just how steep they are. With more water on the track, there were multiple detours we had to take. Also, I have to say, the V8 Troopy has been performing flawlessly on this track. It's really what it was built for, a proper desert tourer.
So we've made it to Air Creek crossing. We've been warned that there's a few big rocks, but there are poles for you to follow where to go. But yeah, the drive today's been fairly easy. The QAA was the quietest it has ever been when we've driven that. We only passed like 3 convoys. So we might be in a bit of a lull, and the rain might have deterred a few people's trips. So yeah, I think we're very lucky with the lack of people. And then here at the crossing, there's no one here. This would be a great spot to camp. Probably fairly popular, so we think we're going to cross it and then start looking for camps.
Okay, so we've got a bit of a drop in. It's not too bad, but you know, it's a little bit steep. So I want my range for this. I'm going to do first low for the drop in, and then I'm going to go to second low to do the water crossing, just keep the engine happy. All right, coming up to the drop in, nice and steep. Alright, take it nice and slow. Perfect. Beautiful. Alright, let's get into the water. Change it to second. Let's avoid a big rock there. Deeper coming out this end. No worries. Well, we've found a magnificent spot here on the Air Creek. There's just such good camping in the Simpson at the moment with all this water around. Yes, spots all to ourselves, no one else here. Yeah, what could you want?
We've decided to just move the Troopy around, so the ice is facing this way. This morning we laid in bed and we watched the sunrise with the canvas down, and it was one of the nicest things I think we've ever done in the Troopy. It was so peaceful. So yeah, we're going to turn around so we can do the same thing tomorrow morning. Here's yours.
Thank you.
Mornings like these are why we travel. A four-wheel drive has always just been a tool to get us to locations such as these. Watching the wildlife and the colours change in the desert as the sun rises truly is an unforgettable experience. After breakfast, we packed up and continued along the bypass back to the QAA line. We only had about 50 kilometres to drive to get to Big Red. As we got closer to Big Red, there were some sections of the track that looked like the MCG. It was so green. The sheer amount of wildflowers is staggering.
Single vehicle heading east on the QAA line, call point 2.
So we are down the base of Big Red, just across the salt pan. But the salt pan is still full of water. People have definitely driven through it. We're not sure if that is previously or if that is recently. We also haven't heard about a detour, and there also isn't a detour sign. So Match is going for a walk to see if we can make it across there. If not, there is like a 3 or 4k detour that goes down this way. But yeah, we'll see what happens. So because we're not sure if you're meant to drive through it, we're just going to go around. Matt said there is a path, but we'll just play it safe. Go around.
And there's lots of people going through it, obviously, and it's chopped up to the point where one more wheel track ain't going to make a difference. But anyway,
We'll just go around.
Okay, we've let the air out of the tyres. We're probably sort of mid-20s in the rear and about 18 in the front, around there. I didn't actually really have a look. I just kind of eyeball it until it looks good. Yeah, it's going to be pretty straightforward. Third low all the way up. We'll start in second low, boost up into third, and then just power on up. We've got the power to do that, and the momentum will carry us up. Sand's nice and cold, so it should be a walk in the park. Honestly, yeah, we're doing the most hard line because we're not here to do easy lines, are we? It's always a bit of fun. So let's see how we go. Starting off in second low.
Alright, ready when you are.
Okay, second low. Just like that. No worries. Well, just like that, the French line in the Simpson Desert is done and conquered. That's our 4th Simpson Desert crossing.
Yeah.
It was good fun. I really enjoyed it.
It was good fun. It was nice doing it solo. It was peaceful.
Yeah.
And it was beautiful. The flowers, the water.
So lush.
Seeing the desert like this was very special.
Yeah.
Very unexpected.
Lush in the desert at the moment. It's
Yeah.
fantastic. So it's a great line. If you've been thinking about doing the Simpson, it's so much fun. I really, really recommend it. We hope that video was helpful. And if so, leave us a comment below. If you have any questions, jump down, ask us. We'll do our best to answer them.
Also, just quick shout out to everyone who saw us on top of Big Red who watches
Yeah.
the show. It was nice chatting with you all.
Yeah, and watching you all go up and down
Yeah.
and all that. It was good fun. It's always good fun, Big Red like that. Alrighty, well, we'll see you in the next one. Really appreciate it. Cheers.
As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And if you are new here, make sure you subscribe so you don't miss anything else from us. We'll see you in the next one.